this weekend is going to be something really, really interesting. Money in the Bank is on Saturday afternoon from the O2 in London, and the men's Money in the Bank ladder match already seems to be causing quite the bit of controversy. WWE has the opportunity to make one of the best creative decisions that they could make all year. Or they have the opportunity to make one of the worst creative decisions that they could make all year. On one hand, you got Vince McMahon. On the other hand, you got Triple H. In the middle of this is a creative tug of war. Vince wants something, Triple H doesn't want it. Triple H wants something, Vince McMahon doesn't want it. If you've been watching the shows on Monday and Friday, you know that everything is a 50-50 partnership. There's a clash of styles, a clash of creative worlds happening on WWE TV right now. There are people that don't want to admit it. There are people out there that think that Triple H is running the show and that everything that bad happens, we should blame Triple H. Triple H is not running creative, and Triple H is not running Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown. It is all Vince McMahon, whether he is there or working the show remotely. Vince McMahon makes the final decision, whether he's in the weeds or not. Vince McMahon wants Logan Paul. Vince McMahon wants the now, he wants the money, he wants the spotlight, he wants the ESPN, he wants this, he wants the news articles, he wants all the highlight of WWE centered around Logan Paul because he's a megastar, a social media influencer, a part-timer. Not to take anything away from Logan Paul, he has done absolutely phenomenal in WWE. But a full-time WWE superstar, he is not. Triple H wants LA Knight. Triple H wants the future. Triple H wants somebody that's busted his ass to get where he is right now. Somebody that was about to be fired from WWE because Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard saw nothing in him. Triple H wants the future. Triple H wants to build for the future of this company. Vince McMahon doesn't give a shit about the future of the company. WWE reportedly was planning a big upset at Money in the Bank. This was reported by Better Wrestling Experience. I talked about this on my extra yesterday. If you missed that video, go and check it out. A big upset for Money in the Bank. They specifically said that it won't affect Cody Rhodes or LA Knight. Now, I don't know what this big upset could be, but right now, today, there is a rumor going around that the big upset could be and is Logan Paul winning the Money in the Bank briefcase, and Triple H is opposed to Logan Paul winning the Money in the Bank contract. WRKD Wrestling has reported, another Twitter account who breaks news, has reported that there have been multiple pitches within WWE for Logan Paul to win the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, with some feeling that Logan Paul holding the briefcase would bring more eyes and more publicity to the company. They say, and I quote, "While LA Knight and Damian Priest are the current favorites to win the upcoming Money in the Bank men's ladder match, there have been internal pitches to give the win to Logan Paul. Some feel that Logan Paul holding the briefcase would bring publicity and put more eyes on the company," WRKD Wrestling tweeted. Now, I know for a fact that Vince McMahon is the one who's creatively pitching internally for Logan Paul to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. And what Vince wants, Vince ultimately gets. You know, there was a report going around also that Nick Khan and Triple H were going to try and talk to Vince McMahon about late-minute rewrites. For all we know, LA Knight and Damian Priest right now are going back and forth creatively on who's going to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. And then in comes Vince McMahon like a fucking owl in the night, and he changes the last-minute creative plans to something that he wants. That's what I expect to happen on Money in the Bank Saturday. Now, the excuse, because that's exactly what it is, an excuse. Oh, Logan Paul would win the Money in the Bank briefcase and bring publicity to the WWE. He would bring spotlight to the WWE. He would bring this and that, and people would go crazy over a social media influencer with millions upon millions of followers on social media. He would look great holding the Money in the Bank briefcase. This is all an excuse. You know, a lot of people tend to think that I'm stupid when I tweet out something like this, and I don't know the business. Believe me, I get the business better than a lot of people get the business. I get why they want to give Logan Paul the Money in the Bank briefcase. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. Do you know what's going to bring publicity to the company? Do you want to know what's going to bring viewers and eyes to the company? It's not giving a part-timer like Logan Paul the Money in the Bank briefcase. It's not giving someone like Logan Paul, who is there contractually for a Royal Rumble, a WrestleMania, a SummerSlam, maybe a Raw, on the go-home show to build to one of those major shows or a Survivor Series. Give or take, Logan Paul will be on premium live events 2 to 3 times a year. You want to go give somebody like that, who's contractually obligated like that, to WWE the Money in the Bank briefcase instead of giving it to somebody that's busted his ass, that's there every single week on the road, on TV, getting over and over and more over every single week on Friday night or Monday night if you're Damian Priest, LA Knight on Friday. You want to take an opportunity away from these guys that have been busting their ass, that are legitimately in this business, in this industry, to give it to somebody who will win it, take it, and then not make it to television, only for him to cash in on Seth Rollins, who is the world's heavyweight champion, to give us a rematch that we already got at WrestleMania. Because we all know Logan Paul isn't wrestling Roman Reigns. He has nothing to do with Roman Reigns, and he isn't winning the world championship from Roman Reigns. So if he does win the briefcase, it's only one against Seth Rollins, not Roman. So you want to give the briefcase to somebody like that. What's going to get eyes on the company is building for the future. What's going to get eyes on the company is story, building for your future, investing in the talent that is there, that is organically getting themselves over and working their asses off. Vince McMahon doesn't know shit. I'm tired of this fucking excuse. Oh, we got to give this guy who is a grade A celebrity a win or a championship, or in this case, a Money in the Bank briefcase. No! It is an excuse to pretend Vince is right and everybody else is wrong. Triple H is right in this case. Triple H wants the future to be built, not the now and the here on Saturday afternoon. What good is the briefcase going to do on Logan Paul? It will do nothing. It's going to be a quick shot of social media analytics and spotlight, and they'll be on ESPN, and it'll be covered by mainstream news. How much of that do you need? WWE is right now as hot as they've been in the last decade. Do we really need him to do that? Logan Paul is going to bring eyes on the product by what he does in the match. He doesn't need to win the briefcase. You're going to use him for SummerSlam. He's going to bring more eyes to the product by using him in a match at SummerSlam. Why does he need to take this opportunity to crown a next Money in the Bank winner and take that spot away from somebody that's been working all year to get to this point? I don't get it. We've seen Logan Paul and Seth Rollins. I have zero interest in seeing Logan Paul and Seth Rollins. They had a great match at WrestleMania. Leave it at WrestleMania. I don't want to see it again. How many times have I told you Vince loves booking rematches at SummerSlam that we've seen at WrestleMania? This would go in line with that narrative. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. And creatively, you should be booking with who is there weekly. LA Knight and a dark horse. I'm not leaving him out because he's got a great chance of winning it because he showed up. Ever since he's with the Judgment Day and going into that Backlash match with Bad Bunny, Damian Priest has shown the fuck up. I don't want to leave him out of the discussion of possible winners on Saturday afternoon. Damian Priest or LA Knight. That is it. LA Knight is my guy. I'm going with him. Damian Priest is a dark horse. Those are the only two guys coming into that match that realistically have a chance. Logan Paul should not be in the discussion at all. You want eyes? Build for the future. You want eyes and people watching the show? Story. Give the fans of this product who they want to see. I don't know how you listen to LA Knight's reaction and not give that man all of the accolades and the prize at the end of the tunnel. I don't. Do we not reward for hard work in this company? Oh, that's right. people want to come on in, pretend to be a pro wrestler, and have nothing to do with the business. No, we'll give them more than our actual in-ring talent that's there every week. Sounds like a great fucking plan to keep people happy backstage. Sounds like a great way to keep your roster happy. And when their contract's up, they'll think back on this moment and say, Vince fucked me over for somebody that wrestles 3 times a year. Meanwhile, I'm there 300. Sounds like a great plan. Awesome. LA Knight or bust. You guys need to open your eyes, man. Seriously, you need to open your eyes. Right now, there's a creative war of worlds on television. There's a tug of war on television. Triple H and Vince McMahon are clashing heads. It's difficult for me to show you and tell you week to week because nobody believes me. But it's there. It's happening. This is an easier situation to digest. Vince wants Logan Paul. Triple H wants LA Knight or Damian Priest or somebody that's there weekly. He doesn't want Logan Paul. Vince is going to get what he wants. I wouldn't be surprised if Logan Paul wins the Money in the Bank briefcase. I wouldn't be surprised if Triple H's opinion is left out in the fucking dust, to be honest with you. And he's told to go fuck himself. Because every single time he wants something, Triple H normally doesn't get what he wants. This is a war of worlds that's happening. And this is the easiest way for me to tell you guys that is exactly happening on television. It is a war of worlds. And if you guys don't see it now, you'll never see it. It's LA Knight or bust. Right now, the best case scenario would be, honestly, before I get the hell out of here, the best case scenario would be Triple H doesn't get what he wants. Vince McMahon doesn't get what he wants. And we get LA Knight and Logan Paul wrestling one-on-one at SummerSlam. Right now, there's also a rumor going around that WWE potentially has a feud for Logan Paul going into SummerSlam, and that would be against the Brawling Brutes. Sean Ross Sapp is reporting that Logan Paul, he's heard, has a program being discussed with the Brawling Brutes after Money in the Bank. Now, that would maybe lend the idea to him not winning the Money in the Bank, and LA Knight really is going to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. But the Brawling Brutes versus Logan Paul, I mean, what are we doing? Is Sapp being fed wrong information? I mean, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? That's not even the best possible match you could make for Logan Paul at SummerSlam. Right now, the best case scenario would be Logan Paul doesn't win. Vince doesn't get what he wants. Triple H doesn't get what he wants. LA Knight doesn't win. They get a match at SummerSlam, and they kind of meet in the middle, which would, again, go right back to the narrative that I just told you about 50-50 booking creatively. Vince and Triple H, 50-50 world collide at SummerSlam for creative because they can't agree on what should happen at Money in the Bank. And Damian Priest wins the Money in the Bank briefcase. It's the best case scenario. Neither one of them get what they want, but the other guy reaps the benefits, and Damian Priest. And that would make for a good story because one of those guys seemingly is going to be on their way out of Judgment Day. I don't know. Or if LA Knight wins the fucking Money in the Bank briefcase, which I hope he does, I would love to see that happen against Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. Rollins and LA Knight for the World Heavyweight Championship, sign me up. Logan Paul has a ready-made match at SummerSlam if he wants it against Ricochet. I don't understand why they aren't going with that. Or does Vince McMahon not think Ricochet's a big enough star to be put in a match with Logan Paul? I mean, you want eyes on the product. You want publicity in regards to Logan Paul working for WWE. You put him in a match with Ricochet, he'll get you all the fucking eyeballs you want. That's where you got to go. Not taking an opportunity away from an LA Knight or a Damian Priest for Logan Paul. I mean, you got to work to everybody's strengths. You got to work to what's best for SummerSlam. LA Knight versus Seth Rollins is best for SummerSlam. Logan Paul versus Ricochet is best for SummerSlam. Not Logan Paul versus the Brawling Brutes. Not Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins. They're going about this backwards. But I guess we'll find out on Saturday what Vince McMahon wants, because ultimately what Vince wants, Vince gets. This is going to be a complete clusterfuck if this does not go the way the fans want on Saturday afternoon. And you know, what happened to the customer knows best, huh? WWE doesn't believe in that, huh? The fans want LA Knight. Give them fucking LA Knight. Guys, I'm getting out of here. Thank you so very much for all of your support on this week's content. Make sure you guys follow me on social media at JD from NY206. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications, and make sure you guys go check out all the other videos on the channel. Plenty of it to catch up on right before we get into the weekend with Money in the Bank. Also, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 1,000 likes on today's OTS. Guys, I will see you right back here with more content on Friday, as we'll be live for SmackDown right after SmackDown on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.